Welcome, Ms. Curie. Thank you for applying for the position of Director of Advanced Scientific Research at our university.
Pleasure is mine.
Let's start with the basics. Tell us about your work. What does your research focus on?
I am Marie Curie, a physicist and chemist, best known for my pioneering research on radioactivity, a term I coined. My work focused on understanding radioactive elements and their properties. I discovered two new elements, polonium, named after my homeland, Poland, and radium alongside my husband, Pierre Curie. I was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and to this day, I remain the only person to have won Nobel Prizes in two different scientific fields, physics in 1903 and chemistry in 1911, for the discovery of radium and polonium. My research laid the foundation for nuclear physics and medical applications, particularly in cancer treatment through radiation therapy. I also established the Radium Institute, now the Curie Institute, which became a center for medical research and treatment.
That's remarkable. Please explain why your work is relevant and important, and how does it advance our understanding of the world?
So, my research revolutionized science by introducing the world to the phenomenon of radioactivity. Before my discoveries, little was known about atomic decay and the energy emitted by elements like uranium. My work led to a new understanding of the structure of matter, which later paved the way for nuclear physics, quantum mechanics, and even atomic energy. In medicine, my work directly led to the development of radiotherapy, which has saved millions of lives through cancer treatment. Even during World War I, I helped equip ambulances with portable X-ray machines known as Little Curies, allowing battlefield doctors to diagnose injuries without surgery. Plus, my research on radioactive elements inspired future scientists to explore nuclear energy, leading to advancements in both generation and scientific research.
That is fascinating. So, Ms. Curie, you work along many brilliant scientists. What is your opinion on their work?
Well, I greatly admire the work of Henry Becquerel, who first discovered natural radioactivity. His findings inspired me to explore why some elements emitted energy on their own. I also owe much to my husband, Pierre Curie, who supported my research and made significant contributions to our understanding of magnetism and radioactivity. Plus, I also acknowledge the work of Ernest Rutherford, who expanded upon my findings to propose the nuclear model of the atom. Although we did not always agree on the theoretical implications of our discoveries, his work was instrumental in shaping modern atomic physics.
That's interesting. So, Miss Curie, some of your findings have been evolved or disproven. What are your thoughts on that?
As you know, science is always evolving, and I accept that some of my early assumptions were incorrect. For example, I believed that radioactive elements could be used safely in everyday products. We did not fully understand the long-term dangers of radiation exposure at the time, and unfortunately, many early industrial applications of radium, such as radium-infused cosmetics and watch dials, led to severe health problems. And sadly, my prolonged exposure to radium and polonium eventually led to my death from aplastic anemia, a condition caused by radiation exposure. Today, scientists work with strict safety protocols when handling radioactive substances. Despite these mistakes, my work laid the foundation for future discoveries, and I take pride in knowing that my research has led to life-saving medical treatments and a deeper understanding of atomic science.
Wait a minute. You said you died from radiation. How are you sitting in front of us?
That's an excellent observation. You see, after spending a lifetime working with radiation, I may have picked up a trick or two. Let's just say I combined a bit of chemistry, a dash of physics, and a generous dose of radiation to preserve my spirit.
So, Dr. Curie, your contributions have been extraordinary. Before we conclude, do you have any final thoughts to share?
Yes, if there's one thing I hope my work has demonstrated, it is that science belongs to everyone. I was told time and time again that women could not succeed in scientific research. I was denied a formal education in my own country and had to fight for recognition. And yet, here we are. Curiosity and perseverance are more powerful than any social societal barrier. So, to all future scientists, ask questions, challenge ideas, and do not be afraid to fail. Though perhaps take better safety precautions than I did. And one last piece of advice, if something glows in the dark and you don't know why, do not put it in your pocket.
Well, that was incredible.
Yes. Also, we should probably check if this chair is now radioactive.
Now that we've spoken with Dr. Curie, it's time for a peer review. For this, we're speaking with one of the greatest minds of all time, Professor Albert Einstein.
Hello.
Hello, Professor Einstein. Thank you for joining us. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Dr. Curie and her contributions to science.
Ah, Marie Curie, an exceptional mind. I once wrote her a letter to encourage her through the criticism she faced. I told her, stay away from the fools, a solid life motto. I may have developed relativity, but she discovered new elements and didn't even have a proper lab coat half the time.
Yes, her discoveries of polonium and radium were quite groundbreaking. What do you think of her work with radioactivity?
Her work was revolutionary. Before Mary, we thought atoms were indestructible. She showed they could break apart and release vast amounts of energy. She didn't just theorize about energy, she demonstrated. She is a real life example of the energy equation equal mc square.
So, what was it like working with her?
We were good friends. She was fearless, both in the lab and in fighting for her place in science. She dealt with rejection and discrimination. How did she respond? By winning two Nobel Prizes.
Professor Einstein, thank you for your insights. This has been an honor.
The pleasure is mine. Now I must return to arguing with the laws of universe. They are quite stubborn, you know.
Well, that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a conversation with Einstein.
Miss Curie, we truly admire your groundbreaking contributions to science. Your discoveries have revolutionized medicine, physics, and our understanding of radioactivity. However, after careful consideration, we have decided to not offer you the position.
Oh, and what is the reason for this decision?
It ultimately comes down to safety concern. While your discoveries have been monumental, we now understand the severe risks of radiation exposure. Given today's strict regulations, we need a leader who prioritizes modern safety standards and your hands on approach, while pioneering in your time does not align with our current policies.
I see. It is true that I did not foresee the full dangers of radiation, as our knowledge was limited at the time. But science is always evolving, built upon both successes and mistakes.
Absolutely, and your legacy is undeniable. But given our need for a research director who can implement cutting edge safety products and protocols, we believe another candidate may be better suited.
Well, whether or not I hold this position, my passion for discovery remains unchanged. And I only hope that the next generation continues to push boundaries and pursue knowledge for the betterment of humanity. Bye.
Bye. Well,
Well, I think we just rejected one of the greatest scientists of all time.
yeah, this might just go down as history's worst hiring decision.